Hello YouTube viewers, Horst here again. I have a replay of another PvZ strategy that I like to use. This time it's a 15 nexus build. I know a lot of people don't really understand it, so I thought I'd go through it. Here I'm just cursing at BNet because I'm favored and I hate being favored in matches. My opponent is still a 2500 Master Zerg, so I don't think there's anything wrong with his play style. It's just I'm favored and I hate that. It's annoying. But when you're going for the 15 nexus, the first thing you gotta do is your initial pylon has to be placed correctly. In this case, on this map, I like to put it right here. And the reason behind putting it there is that I have the ability to place a wall of buildings right across here that'll reach from my nexus to this ramp right here. The wall is very important. The 15 nexus build is like a very SimCity style thing. You gotta place everything just so, otherwise you're completely screwed. But we scout the Zerg with the probe. Let's go back only to my view, so we don't really know what the Zerg is doing. And we just walk up this ramp with a probe, and you wait until 15 supply to build your own nexus. You do nothing else until then. And I don't see an early pool, so I know everything is fine and dandy. If you see a very early pool, you're in trouble. Generally, you want to go for a forge before your nexus then, but if there's no fast pool, you can go for nexus first. He's not fast expanding, which is alright. Usually I like to see the Zerg expand relatively quickly when I do this. If the Zerg is on one base, he might actually just go all in, and that's pretty hard to stop, so you gotta scout. But the pool going down, the gas going down, so he's probably going for a speedling build, which is not really too great at stopping this. They're at 15 supply. Put down your nexus right here. And keep scouting the Zerg, see when the Zerg expands. Keep building more probes. And at 16 supply, I want to build a forge. I usually put it like right around here. It'll be a different position for every map. Just put it in a place where it'll block stuff. You want your forge and gateways to block your cannons from being hit by Zerglings. But still no expansion from the Zerg. Got to go up and check again. If he's got a roach warren going down, I'll need to throw down a lot of cannons. But I can see Zergling speed going. I can see he only has like one worker on gas, so he's not really planning on doing any kind of heavy roach build. Still not expanding though. He's going for a speedling first expand or something. He probably wants to get Zerglings out so I can't block with a pylon. But put down another pylon over here on the other side of the nexus, turning a cannon here and a cannon here. That'll do a fairly good job blocking him from getting up my ramp with speedlings. And I'll just move around down here a little bit for as long as I can to see if the hatch is going down. It's still not down, which is kind of worrisome, but I'll have to send another scout pretty soon to take a look, see if he's going for a hatch or if he's going for like an all-in build. But now that I have my nexus, transfer half the workers over, build workers from both nexus, keep them coming, and I complete my wall off here with 2 gateways. So now if he wants to attack me, he has to go all the way around here, and he's going to need quite a few Zerglings to do that. So he really can't break this with Zerglings unless he has a couple hundred of them. He's going to need roaches. And I didn't see him going for any kind of heavy roach thing. He was pretty obviously going for just speedlings. So I'm not too worried about that at this point. I will have to send another scout soon. Now at this part, you just chrono boost out as many workers as you can. If you take a look at the income tab, I'm already up 23 workers. And I'll start to skyrocket over the Zerg. But as your gateways are going down, you want to put an assimilator down, so you can get warp gate research as soon as possible. Now he has speedlings, so I can't scout with a probe. Because I can't scout with a probe, my reaction is going to be build 2 zealots and send them to scout. I want them as soon as possible because I really need to know if I need to build more cannons, or if I can get away with building just a couple and leaving these 3 and just going for a warp gate tech. There are 2 things you can do after a 15 nexus that I like to do. The first one is blink stalkers, which I'm doing in this game. Or you can go for Void Rays and Colossus, which it's pretty good. It's not as good against Mutalist Harass because you'll be caught with only a couple of Void Rays when the mutas arrive, but you can still deal with it. The Blink Stalkers seem to be more versatile in my opinion. But we'll send the 2 zealots out to scout and see what the Zerg is up to. Take a look at the income tab. I'm still way ahead, so that's a good thing. The zealots carving up the Zerglings. And we can see it looks like he did expand. And he does have a hatchery there. I see 2 queens. I see a 3rd queen. I see a bunch of larvae. This doesn't look like he's planning on going all in with roaches, so I'm not too worried about the roaches at this point. And that zealot's dead. I don't really care. They did their job. They scouted. So let's throw down a bunch of gateways and Twilight Council to get blink. You have your probe production. Constantly producing. You want to at least match the Zerg. It's a very Zerg style strategy. But once you have enough money to get 6 gateways. 6 gateways is about what you're going to want. You don't want really any more than that, because it's about all you can afford to produce out of on 2 bases. Whoa, something is very laggy. That's not good. Well. But yeah, once your gateways are down, you want to chrono boost out blink. You want to chrono boost out +1 weapons. Open your warp gates. Keep up that probe reduction. I'm still ahead of the Zerg, which is unusual. Most Zergs usually have way more workers than most Protoss, but he did get his hatch much later than me. And with the Blink Stalker strategy, what I like to do is right after I get the first wave of Blink Stalkers, I like to expand pretty soon after that. So in order to secure an expansion on this map, I'll have to kill these rocks. I like this as my 3rd expansion instead of the gold. The gold's a little risky to take. So we'll just take this one over here. Kill those rocks out of the way, get upgrades. Still getting blink. And just keep producing probes. I'm slacking on the probe production a little bit at this point. I should have more of them. But check the production tab. What else is going on? Yep, just probes, stalkers, weapons. And then once you have a decent sized ball of stalkers at around 9:30, 10 minutes into the game, you just go out and scout. This is basically a scouting party. It's not going to really do too much damage to the Zerg. You just want to see what units he's building. See if he's going like a double expansion, you might be able to pick a hatchery off. That's unusual, but it's happened before. So there's no expansion down here. But he did kill his rock, so he's planning on taking one soon. We go up here. Maybe we can kill an Overlord. And retreat from this. Blink Stalkers are not good against Hydra and Zergling. Now that I know he has Hydras and he has Zerglings, the counter is High Templar, so we want to throw down a Templar Archives right now. High Templar are extremely powerful against low HP units like Hydras and Zerglings, so that's the best counter for this. And while we were doing that, of course, we expand. And because the high Stalkers are much faster than Hydras, you can poke in, do some damage, kill a couple of things. Poke and prod, don't really commit to anything. And I see a couple of Hydras standing there by themselves. So we'll just blink over, murder all of those. And retreat without losing too much. Hopefully the speedlings won't catch us and kill us all. They catch a few Stalkers. But we can retreat back. Now also against this composition you're going to want a couple of Zealots. So I'm getting Zealot leg speed. Zealots are almost worthless without the leg speed, so we'll just get that as well. And start +2 weapons as soon as possible. Here we'll run some Speedlings in to try to harass this expansion. We can kill that, our Blink Stalkers and Zealots, it's fine. And of course every Zergling you kill is a Zergling you're not going to have to deal with later, so you just want to kill as many as possible all the time. Now this expansion is up, so you want to move over some probes. And we want to research Psionic Storm as soon as possible. There are, of course, different things you would do depending on his reaction. I mean, if you went for a mass roach play, I would go for either robotics or void rays. But against the Hydras, you really need Templar. You can use Colossus against the Hydras, but the thing is, you already have the Blink tech, so Templar tech is very close. There's no real reason to switch over to Colossus for something that you can get Templar to do the exact same thing. Also, going Templar has the added bonus you're not going to encourage him to produce Corruptors, because Broodlords are a pain in the ass to deal with, so if you don't want to encourage that, stick with the Templar. But we have 3 bases up. Check the income tab. I'm already at 60 Harvesters at less than 14 minutes into the game. That's really good. Zerg is actually well under me in income, which is, again, pretty unusual, but it's because I'm fast expanding, and then he wasn't taking a third, so he might be taking a third now. I'm not entirely sure, but it doesn't really matter. check the army size tab. I saw a scout zergling come in there. So I go over to check it out, and he moves his entire army in from a different angle, which is a good idea. He does attack right here with a crap ton of speedlings. Fortunately, Storm just finished, so I'll throw down some storms from the Hydralisks. My Zealots and Stalkers will be able to take everything else out. Just want to make sure the storms land on the Hydras. Now those armies were fairly equal to begin with. He had a slight advantage in minerals, but I had a slight advantage in gas. But good storm usage can completely throw the battle in your favor unless he has roaches. Now, because I did build a very weak army against roaches, I'm expecting to switch to roaches right after this. And in order to prepare for that, I have 2 Stargates with Void Rays coming out, so that once the roaches come out, I can fall back and I can counter the roaches. You always want to think about what your enemy will do to counter what you're doing, and have a plan to back that up. But I don't think he's going to be able to stop this push, because I still have a couple of Templar with there. I have some Zealots, some Stalkers. It's a pretty balanced little army I have here. And he's not going to be able to stop that. Just E right there. +2 weapons did finish. For example, this Zealot has 13 kills. But yeah, this is how you would do a Nexus first build. To recap, you just get a 15 Nexus, then a 16 Forge, a couple of cannons to defend, 2 gateways down here to finish your wall off. Then you can either go for fast Void Rays or fast Blink Stalkers. When you push out at around 10 minutes, throw down a 3rd expand, and then just plan ahead and figure out what your enemy's going to do to counter what you're doing, and counter his counter. You gotta think 2 steps ahead with Protoss in order to keep up with the fast tech switches Zerg can do. But Terran has to do the same thing when they're getting Thors against Ultralisks and Vikings against Broodlords. Very similar, but that's how you do this build. Hope you guys found this entertaining. Thanks for watching.